Do a quick reading on Sabrina Carpenter and more specifically what's coming for her career. So I do know about her album Short and Sweet, which is coming out pretty soon, I believe. I kind of want to know what else other than that, and I feel like I'm seeing something that we might not really get to confirm. We have Hermit reverse, Hierophant reverse, and the Hanged Man. This is about letting go of something or not following through with a contract or something that was promised. This could mean that a company or a brand or somebody is not following through with what they said they would contract wise, or if she is deciding to cancel on someone. What this looks like is 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This is supposed to cost a lot of money. Could be that something is canceled as well. And as to the reasons for why something is being canceled, we have the 7 of Wands here, so something is a little bit overwhelming. This one makes me think of like her as being the blonde one, sort of like having contract arguments or negotiations, renegotiations with someone. Or if it's not necessarily about the contract, something becomes too overwhelming for her. So I could see her actually trying to take a break. Even though the Hermit is in reverse, the Hermit in reverse could mean some form of travel being involved. There's like, maybe she's out of the country. Would this be a tour or something? And like canceling some spots on her tour. The Hermit in reverse makes me think she's out of the country or she's going to be out somewhere whenever this thing happens. And it's like something becomes too overwhelming. There are some arguments with people. Things kind of become a conflict. So we're like, actually, let's renegotiate a contract, or I might have to put my foot down because this isn't working out for me. I could see her having to let go of something and just letting it rest for a while. The Lord card is here, which means someone has boss energy here. This is about talking to a boss or an authoritative figure. The Gift card in reverse here and the Enemy upright. Almost like I have to look out for something. Oh my gosh. I started thinking about what's going on with Taylor Swift right now, which is like, oh, for safety reasons, we shouldn't do this. It may not necessarily be about safety reasons. It could be literally just about health. This is the Thief card and the Misunderstanding card, or Inconsistency card rather. I think that something is going on where she has to cancel or drop out of something because it just feels like that's the smarter thing to do or the more careful and safe thing to do. It could be for someone's health. It doesn't necessarily have to be about anything negative. It doesn't necessarily have to be about anything related to safety concerns, but there's definitely something that's going to make her back out. I also believe that she's a Taurus, so it makes sense that this card, the Hierophant, would be there. Quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear that some relationship issues are causing a rift or causing her to take a break or personal break. If it's not relationship issues, it's definitely something that has to do with feeling distant from another person or the separation of two people, the collapse of a partnership. So something like a contract, like I said, not going through. I'm also seeing here, literally there's a concert stadium here, so it could just be a public event, not necessarily a concert, like a performance. So I'm also hearing like Madison Square Garden. So again, it gives me the vibe of like, oh, actually, you know what I started thinking of? Like Christmas performances or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but there's a public performance that she has that's going to get canceled because that could be if the venue sucks or the people handling things don't follow through with their end of the bargain. This could also be if she feels like she needs some more personal time to work on something. So I wonder if she's been really focusing on her vocal skills. I could see that being her like trying to hone her abilities. In my mind, I could see her with her hair up and almost like she's practicing a dance. I'm hearing Espresso being the song playing, but then I also feel like I'm seeing something like SNL or like Jimmy Fallon or like some form of a late night show. It's kind of pretty obvious as well, just album wise, career wise as well. But I can see that she's very focused on her album obviously being a success, and I can also see that her head is very much in the game. When I say that, I mean that when I'm in her energy, I feel like she really knows what she's doing. She's someone who's very particular about the moves that she's making, and she's being very smart about her decisions. I can also see her delving back into like acting or voice acting or something. Like, yes, I know about her Disney past, but I could see her doing something for kids. I'm also getting an image of shoes. For some reason I'm thinking of Skechers, but it could just be shoes. So this could be a future brand collaboration. It's like I'm seeing the concept of how she has like hearts in her dresses and that being translated into something like a shoe. So let's say like it's like a shoe or sneakers with like a little charm that's a heart. It could just be like shoes basically, right? In terms of what to watch out for, she needs to make sure she watches her words. I think she's someone who's very like straightforward, and she may sometimes come off a little bit harsh to people if she's like being very forward about what she needs. So I could see it being like someone thinking that she might be difficult because she's being very blunt and honest about like, I don't like that, like that's not good enough. But I could also see her being a very organized person and being someone who's like, yeah, like I know exactly the vision I have in my mind for my performances, and this is how I want it to happen. Like that's how I see her. I could also see this as potential burnout, so she's gotta make sure she does have a good sort of balance between performances and stuff. But the interesting thing is I feel like when she's in the company of other people, she kinda is like much more free flowing and loose about things. But like I could see her being late to something, like, oh, you're late to a performance because you were hanging out with someone and you lost track of time. And it's like, that's not great as well, you know? So I could see it being like, yes, on the one hand, like she's very organized and very particular about her performances, but also I could see that if she's hanging out with people that are maybe in the party mood, that she might just go along with them. And I could see her potentially getting into trouble because of that, because like someone's kind of pulled her off, or maybe Barry, I don't know, has kind of pulled her off in a different direction and is like, hey, let's go out and do this. And so she's like going along with other people, and that could create friction between her team, or people around her. Also something we might not hear confirmation about, or maybe someone from her past that comes back in. King of Pentacles here, a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, especially a Capricorn because of the devil being here. The High Priestess, like someone you probably shouldn't trust very much. Now I'm saying that because Six of Cups is here, so someone from the past. 10 of Cups in reverse, someone who might not have very long-term intentions about being with her. And then Ace of Cups is here, who comes back for a reconciliation, an emotional conversation, or tries to woo her back in. So this could be an ex-boyfriend or someone whose offer she rejected. This could be someone from like a label company or something. Like I can see someone try and approach her and give her something, but it's like she's got to be careful of this Capricorn or Earth sign, because this person will say all the right things but will not always have the best intentions for her. If you like this, make sure you book a reading at mediumisabella.com. Comment below which other celebrity you want me to do a reading on.